morning, people. Welcome to episode 39 of the Hip Hop Orchestra Presents. I'm joined by an incredibly talented violinist and model all the way from Canada, Annika Langill. How are you? You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
It's a beautiful morning in Canada.
It looks like it. I'm so jealous. It's raining like
And it's afternoon for you.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's 5 o'clock here. It's raining like hell earlier, but what can you do?
really.
But it looks lovely there, though. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
And you're based in Edmonton, aren't you? Edmonton, Alberta?
I'm a little, like 20 minutes outside of Edmonton, but yeah.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
And have you been based there your whole life, or have you kind of moved around?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, my family's from Newfoundland,
Hmm.
but I was born here.
Ah, lovely. Nice.
So,
Brilliant. But before we can actually get into something, I'm really keen to find out how you kind of do modeling and play violin as well, which is really something I was really keen to find out more about. But let's kind of take it back to the beginning, actually, and kind of start with your music. So how did you get started into music?
well, I started music when I was 4 years old playing piano.
Hmm.
I played that for like a couple of years, but really I just went for the candy in the candy machine.
Okay.
And there's like this shop underneath the where I took lessons,
Hmm.
and this guy that owned the store used to play me the violin,
Hmm.
and I would always be like, Dad, can I go hear the violin? Can I go hear the violin? And I would always just I would just stare at them. I'm like, wow, they're so pretty. And I didn't start violin until a little later,
Hmm.
when I drew this almost like this shield-shaped thing at school of like my personality, like what makes up me.
Hmm.
And one part was like bravery for like with a lion, and one was like art with like a paintbrush. One was horses because I'm like really into like equestrian, and one was of a violin. At the time, I didn't play violin, but I knew that was a part of me. For some reason, I just knew that was a part of me. And my mom used to play the radio, and one song had this beautiful like violin melody, and I was like, wow, Mom, I want to play that. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to play that. Pick this up for a month and drop it, or yeah. So
Yeah.
they finally let me rented my first violin for a year
Hmm.
when I was 10 years old,
Okay.
and I learned very quickly. I loved it, like right away. I loved it. I was like, twinkle, twinkle, little star, like all the way, just like going hard. Yeah, it was good. And then, yeah, and then about a year and a half later, I tried out for the Edmonton Youth Orchestra,
Hmm.
and I got in at 11 years old, which is
Amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been playing in the Edmonton Youth Orchestra for going to my 5th year.
Wow.
There's like these two groups. Pardon me?
No, I think it's
Yeah, there's like,
amazing. Yeah.
oh yeah, okay. There's these two groups. There's one for like intermediate for like, which I was in for 4 years, and now I'm going to my first year of seniors. So I'm really excited about that. It's going to be difficult though for like the COVID situation, because we're starting off online.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a challenge. I think it's going to be a challenge, but if anybody can do it, I know Mr. Michael Massey can. So yeah, that's kind of my music background. There's always been music instruments around my house, like always. I've been really fortunate to be born into a musical family. There's always music playing in my house of all genres.
That's
Yeah, so
fantastic. How about your
it's
parents?
eventful.
Yeah, what do your parents play? Do they play any instruments as well?
My mom is really, really like rhythmic. She
Hmm.
likes the drums.
Oh,
She's kind of
really?
cool that way.
Yeah.
She really likes like beats, and she really gets into that kind of stuff. My dad is a singer. He's really good at singing.
Hmm.
He also plays the guitar. He all self-taught. Piano and drums.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my brother, he's really good at piano, and he did take drum lessons when he was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you first got into the orchestra, how did you feel? Were you quite nervous to start, or were you really excited?
I missed that. Sorry. Can you repeat
That's
that?
okay. So when you first got into the orchestra, when you first actually started playing, were you really nervous or were you really excited?
When I first went in the orchestra, I was petrified. I
Really?
looked around me. I was like, there's so many good musicians, and like they were so much older than me. And it was like, just like sitting there, just like, okay, okay. And at the time, I was only playing for like a year and a half. So I wasn't really that good at reading music.
Mhm.
So that was kind of just like a block for me at first. So I would sit there and be like faking it for like the first month, and then my teacher helped me like fill in some notes to help me like through it so
Mhm.
I could play. About my third year, it finally just clicked. Everything
Really?
just clicked, and I was like, whoa! I know how to read music now.
That's
This is kind of
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Like, what's it like though to like perform with the whole orchestra? 'Cause obviously, I've run my own orchestra in London, back in London. But for you, like, what's it like to perform in such a big orchestra? Because I've seen obviously heard the recordings, they're incredible. What's it like for you
Yeah.
to actually be a part of that?
Well, at the Winsphere Center here in Edmonton, the home of the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra,
Hmm.
it's an art performing center. Um, it's amazing. You get on the stage with your big orchestra. It
Hmm.
sounds 10 times better, like in the thing, and than where you practice. Our thing at the university. It's like really really open. There's lots of seating, and the sound, it's just built for sound,
Hmm.
and it just projects everywhere. And it's just, if you see pictures, it's really you look up and you're like, whoa, I'm actually here, like I'm
Yeah.
playing for all these people. It's really really amazing. Some people get really nervous and like, okay, we're going on stage now. I'm more, I'm so excited, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that first performance like for you, though?
It was really intimidating.
Mm.
Um, I was really scared at my first performance because I thought I wasn't like, what if people notice I'm not as good as everybody else, or, just like doing what a typical 11, 12-year-old would do around all these like amazing musicians, which I was good too. I
Hmm.
was just not confident in my ability yet because I was just playing for a short time. Um, so I got on that stage and I got into the groove of everything, like the music. I think I messed up a couple times, of course, but you can't hear that from far away, thank goodness.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And do you feel
um,
like you've really improved since you joined the orchestra as a musician?
oh, it's made the world of a difference for me. Like reading music really came through the orchestra. Um, I really know how to play with other people
Hmm.
and following along really well from the orchestra. Last year I was principal second, so I was leading the violin twos, which is
Wow,
an amazing opportunity.
that must have given you that must have given you a huge confidence boost then to do that as well.
It did, and I had that year of one of my friends was my stand partner, and I love him. He's amazing. We just played really well together, and I that year was like my favorite year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you've gone from intermediate now to the one at the level above now, the senior.
Yeah, senior. So you go into, it's like 16 till 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
And have you learned any kind of pieces yet, or been given any pieces to learn in that kind of time period just yet?
Um, Not yet. We haven't not yet. We're starting our this the time like in September. We always start in September and we have weekly rehearsals.
Oh, brilliant. And
Yeah.
you mentioned about maybe doing it online first. Is that correct?
Yeah.
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 I mean, how are you looking forward to that?
Um, yeah, I'm not sure about it, but I'm
Mm,
kind of excited, kind of how is this gonna work, kind of scared, like how am I gonna play with everybody if like someone messes up, it's gonna mess everything up. I don't know. It's
I
kind
mean,
of it's
yeah,
just different, right?
of
It's
course it
different.
is. It's really different, isn't it? I mean, how big are the orchestras? Are both intermediate and senior the same size ish,
Um,
or is one much bigger than the other?
the senior one's a little bit bigger, definitely. Um, the smaller one that I've been in for 4 years is about maybe 60, 70 people estimate, maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe 50 to 60, maybe. I really don't know, but it's good. It's a really good size. I like it.
That's amazing, though. I mean, 50, 60
Mhm.
people at least, though. I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? That many
Yeah,
people.
it is.
I mean, when you start playing and hearing orchestras that big, it's the best feeling, isn't it?
It is the best feeling. It just gives you energy. Like when everybody comes together and creates this like magical, like just amazing sound. It's
Mhm.
just like I'm a part of this, and like you just really get into it with this passionate feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of favorite pieces that you love to perform within the orchestra?
Um, not yet. I we kind of we have three main concerts a year,
Hmm.
and we always get new music for everyone, and we play it for the concert, and then the next rehearsal we get new music. Um, I can't really remember. There was one song that I absolutely loved. It was in my second year. I should have wrote it down or something, because I was still just like a newbie, just doing my thing. But I loved this song.
Mm.
But I don't remember what it's called at
Oh,
all.
damn it. I mean, what kind of what kind of stuff do you actually play though? Is it more classical? Is it more pop? Is
It's
it
more classical,
yeah?
yeah. It's
Okay.
really like Mr. Massey is a really huge mentor for our age. He really, really knows his stuff. He's an amazing person. And he's just like teaching us like this, keeping the classical and the old music alive and everything.
Mm.
And it's really amazing what he can do.
That's brilliant. I mean, what's it like working with him as a conductor? You said how fantastic he was. What's he like?
Said some jokes, and he's from London, England. So
Yeah,
he
I
has the
saw.
accent,
Yeah.
and he's actually a pianist with the ESO, so the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, and he's also a celloist, or as he calls it, the celli.
Yeah.
Um, and he's really he's really good at getting everyone together and making sure that everybody's on time and playing in their best ability. And he always scares us saying, I know if you haven't practiced this week. Yeah. So
Is he ever really strict within one of the
he's just a
rehearsals?
very, very caring.
Ah, it's
Pardon me?
brilliant. I was going to say, has he ever been really strict with everyone within the orchestra? Or is he quite laid
Um,
back in his approach?
he's strict, but not overly. At first I was really scared of him because I thought he was gonna call on me and say, play by yourself. I was like, no. so
Oh man. But
so
what be
that kind of like scared me a bit away.
oh
But then when I got used to everything and was able to read music and became a lot more confident, I was like, okay, call on me, let's play.
yeah, brilliant. And
Yeah.
what be some of your favorite performances so far within the orchestra?
Well, the performances, we usually in the intermediate, we just have our three main concerts. Um, Last year, I know that we had one of our best concerts in a long time. We sounded amazing at the Windspear. People commented to Mr. Massey that it was one of the best youth orchestra performances that they've ever heard.
Really?
This year, a lot of our good musicians moved up to seniors, and we had a lot of kids that I was not used to because we usually don't have that many newbies. So we're kind of just still like moving them up. It's kind of like a graduate like thing. There's a bird.
Yeah, that sounds loud. But you're mentioning about bringing kind of the new musicians in. There he goes again.
And
I love it.
Yeah.
But talking about the sort of the new musicians coming in to kind of replace the other ones, I mean, does that add a kind of pressure to you to kind of step your game up in a way to perform
It
better?
does, because last year, especially in violin second, like the constable second, lots of kids came to me, hey, what are you playing here? Give me the notes. I need to know what you're playing, or bowings. And I'm like, I'm not used to this at first. I was like, okay, I'm the role model now. I have to figure out what I want to do to lead everybody else what to do. And
Yeah.
I know my stand partner helped a lot with that, because he was playing for a lot longer time, and he really like, okay, so do you think this is good? And I'm like, that's great. Do you think this is good? We really worked as a team, which was really nice. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's one of the most difficult things about being in an orchestra is dealing with those kind of last minute changes?
You froze out. What's the
Oh,
last part?
sorry. I was gonna say, with these kind of moments, do you feel like these kind of moments are the most difficult things to deal with within an orchestra?
Um, Not entirely, but seeing all these new kids, I knew where I was at the beginning. I was petrified. I was like, this is huge. There's so many people. Everybody's so good. And I get why they're nervous, because there's a bunch of these new kids kind of like, oh, they're exactly in the place I was.
Hmm.
So I kind of tried to make things a little easier, tried to encourage them to do their best, and they were really good. This year I was in violin 1, so I didn't have that role model as much, but I know one of the students from the same teacher I study with came, and she was really nervous. So I
Hmm.
kind of helped her and said, it's fine, violin 2 is a breeze.
Yeah, that's so good. That's
Just
so
like
good.
encourage them, yeah.
Yeah, that's so good of you to do that. I mean, now that you got into the senior orchestra now, has your mindset kind of gone back to when you first joined the orchestra in the intermediate, or are you more confident now of your ability?
Well, I'm definitely more confident in my ability, but there are going to be a lot of university students that are going to be like really, really amazing. And you try to change my mindset of being, okay, I'm not as good as everybody else too. Let's learn. I'm going to learn from everybody and work my best to be the best player I can be for everybody else.
Of course. And within your music field, what's been like kind of your dream thing to work on? Is it like releasing your own album or doing more orchestral work? What's kind of been your dream thing to work on?
I right now I don't have a favorite genre of classical or playing. I like a bit of country, a bit of Celtic, a bit of classical, and I really like the Romantic era. I really
Hmm.
like feeling music and just like the beautiful melodies. I like a bit of the harder pieces, but that
Hmm.
have a beautiful sound at the same time. I've been working on, um, yeah, just I really need to work on solo performing, because I
Hmm.
find the violin a very intimate and personal instrument to me. And when I play, I feel like I'm expressing my soul. So
Hmm.
it's kind of a bit of a challenge when it comes to playing in front of other people for me to freely play and like express it.
Mm.
So that's something I'm really working on, because I kind of want to be a performer a little bit, and
Yeah.
just like I used to play for the senior homes because they love it, and I just felt so amazing that I was doing that for them, because it kind of breaks up their daily routine and gives them something to look forward to. Um, so yeah, that's one way I've been practicing to perform, and yeah, I haven't had a lot of opportunities lately, of course,
Oh,
but
of course. But
Yeah.
you're still so young. That you got so many years ahead of you, and you're already doing such amazing things right now. So keep up that amazing work, and it'll soon come for you.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, but you mentioned the romantic period actually, which is my favorite too. Do you have
Really.
any? Yeah, like the Chopins and so forth. Who's my favorite composer? Do you have any favorite composers that you love playing, like the Mozart, Beethoven, Chopins? Who do you like to perform?
I don't have a favorite yet. I like changing things up
Mm.
and trying new things and not really sticking with one. I kind of like say I'll play one like Beethoven song and I'll really like it, but I might try something else and not like it, but I won't say, oh, I don't like this person just because it's like one piece,
Hmm.
because they have multiple pieces that I need to try them all to make up my mind.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ah, that's fantastic. And keep up that amazing work. That honestly, it's brilliant. It's really fantastic.
Thank you.
My pleasure. But another thing I want to find out is about your modeling career. And as well as being a fantastic musician, you're also a model as well. I
Yeah,
mean,
I am
how,
a
how,
model.
how did that all come about? Did you get scouted, or was that something you're interested to do beforehand? How did that all come about?
Well, I started when I was really young with like a passion for fashion. I used
Okay.
to have this big tuckle trunk that was full of Disney princess dresses, and I'd probably change into princess dresses at least 5 times a day. I used to put on these little runway shows for my family in my little princess dresses, and whenever I came home with new clothes, like back to school shopping, I put some music on, like try on my new clothes, show it off at my family, strut my stuff. Yeah, so I kind of had a love for just like expressing myself through fashion and everything. Um, I was always one of the taller kids in my class, always.
Hmm.
It was kind of an insecurity for me when I was younger,
Oh,
which
really?
modeling helped with me like get to really be more confident in myself and really stand up tall and just carry myself very well. Um, yeah, because I was always like an awkward, skinny, tall kid in my elementary class, and just like I was like, "Hey guys," down there. Yeah, happily, there's taller kids now because everybody's grown, especially the guys, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Eye level now.
Yeah.
And how long have you been a model now? You said you
I've
started really
been
young.
a model. I've signed on with Mode over a little less than a year ago. I did a little bit of modeling before that, but I got signed on with Mode over a little less than a year ago. So they've been really good. I am really proud to be a part of the Mode family.
Yeah.
It's a good agency. It's one of the best agencies in Canada. So
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah.
Wow. How did that come about? Did you have to send in obviously like pictures of yourself or videos, or like again they kind of scout you from somewhere? How did you get onto mode?
Well, I first talked to the founder of Mode, which is Kelly Strait, and he told me like, "Hey, let's book you an interview." Okay, I was like, "Okay," and I went into the Edmonton, their home there, and had my first interview, and they were interested in a test shoot, which is just to see like what your angles are, how you look on camera, um, to see how you are in front of the camera, to see what they need to work on if they did sign you on.
Hmm.
So I did those, and I did really good. I loved the photos that I ended up getting. Um, and they signed me on about a month and a half later, and I've been with them ever since. Uh, I've been doing a little bit of work, but I was supposed to start doing a little bit more work this summer, but
Hmm.
the COVID thing had happened
Of
and everything's
course.
kind of slowed down a lot for a lot of models. I'm happy I'm kind of a little bit younger, so my prime time is maybe like next year or the year after, instead of the girls that are ready to go out now and to, you know, present themselves to everybody and they won't be able to get any jobs or work because of COVID.
Mm.
So I'm kind of feel really lucky that I'm not at that time to, hey, I'm really ready for this and let's go, but everything's stopped.
Yeah, of course. I mean, what kind of things have you done through the agency so far? What kind of work have you done so far?
Well, I've been kind of doing some really like creative-ish work. I worked with Catherine Kingston, which is one of their um, photographers at Mode. I worked with Dorian Reeves a few times now. He's amazing. He's getting a lot. He's like really. He used to be a Versace model,
Oh,
and now
really?
he's inspired. Yeah, he's inspired to be a photographer, and he really knows the angles because he's used to being behind the camera, so he can
Mhm.
really show me like different ways of doing things, the movement, what he's really looking for in the photo, and it's really nice to have someone to carry me along and really show me what he wants, because a lot of some photographers will just not talk at all. They're just like, okay, hold this,
Yeah.
or do a human pretzel, okay,
Yeah.
you know. And he's really like he teaches me a lot with how to move my body in that way and everything. And it's really nice. It's really nice to work with him.
That's fantastic. I did want to ask actually if you found it difficult at all being a model. Like, was it quite an awkward thing to start off with, or did you kind of find it quite natural to become a model?
Because I was so yeah, I was not the most confident little kid. I was cocky but still shy,
Yeah.
very shy. So getting in front of a camera for the first time was like, okay, I'm gonna stand here. What do I do now?
Yeah.
And
uh,
but after like 20 minutes of the photographer just getting me warmed up and like carrying me along to do these different poses, and I was like, I like this. This is kind of cool.
yeah.
Okay, pose.
Yeah.
um,
That's brilliant. I mean, do you hope to make a career out of this in the future as well, to carry on going down the modeling route?
I am very excited to see what the future has in store with me. I'm kind of taking modeling one step at a time, see where I can take it, but not, you know, okay, I need to do this and I need to do that.
Hmm.
I'll just let everything the way it should be and see where I can take it.
Definitely. Whatever you do, the best of luck with it. I know it could be amazing in both fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how do you deal with being both a musician and a model? Because it's such a unique combo, isn't it? About being a model and a musician. How do you find it?
Actually, I think it's a good combo because a lot of models nowadays can't really be just a model. I have a creative and musical background, which actually really helps me in my modeling field. My modeling helps me be better at performing because I'm used to being in the spotlight, right? And walking down the runway is really the spotlight, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that helps me with each field,
Hmm.
helps me back and forth with like musical, like I'm really, it teached me like the dedication and um, being reliable and everything with the orchestra, and modeling helps me with my confidence and my just how to carry myself and just a lot of, yeah, it's just, it's really good with both, I think, because that's kind of who I am.
Hmm.
I am who I am now because of both of those things. They're both my passions, fashion and music. So I'm really happy I have both.
Yeah. That is so good to hear, honestly. That is so good. You're doing both things that you love at such a young age as well. That's
Yeah, yeah.
fantastic. And not many people get the chance, do they, to do both things they love in life. And you're doing
Yeah,
both,
they
aren't
don't.
you? So try and make the most if you can and try and learn as much as possible and keep up the
Yeah.
amazing work
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
But how did you find like the spotlight? You said mentioned the kind of catwalk and the spotlights. I mean, how did you find that when you first started doing that?
Well, My first runway show was I was in these slippery high heel boots that were way too high.
Yeah.
I was maybe 13, 14, and I was walking down slippery because the walk was really, really slippery the first night of the show. And I was just sliding everywhere. I was like just walking very awkwardly. But by the second day, I wore my own shoes, and and they sprayed the walk with like a different thing that made it stickier. And I fell in love with it. Yeah, I just like I really got into it, got into the music, the beat, I love the fashion. I love working with different fashion designers and just seeing their creative work and their passion put into almost it's almost their painting. Like an artist paints beautiful pieces. Fashion designers creates beautiful works of art as well. And it's really lovely to work with people like that and to walk and wear them as a model and to show them off for them. And it's really nice.
Do you have any favorite fashion designers or anyone that inspires you in the fashion field?
I like really high fashion, but I like Sarah Burden, which it works under Alexander McQueen. I think her pieces are very, very, very nice. Her work is very powerful, strong, but yet very, very feminine. And I really, really look up to that as well. And you can really see those characteristics in her pieces, and almost like all her pieces. That you can really see the strong woman, you know, but very feminine and girly and pretty, you know.
And within the fashion world as well, for future reference, would you ever like to become a fashion designer yourself?
I don't know if I could create designs. I really think I could try. I'm really open to trying new things, but I really would like to be like a stylist or a photographer too. That would be cool, you know, just to try things out because I kind of throw myself into things. Okay, let's try this.
Yeah,
Let's try
good.
that. Yeah.
Have you
So
have you ever asked questions within the stylists or photographers about how they do their jobs? If that's something you're interested in, have you ever asked them for advice on bits?
well, if a makeup artist used a product on my face that I really loved, of course, I would ask them, oh, wow, what is this product? Or if they did a certain eye like color and did it in a cool way, I'd be like, oh, how did you do that? Or in like with the stylists, I used to like really like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like, whoa. And like I took a lot of my own fashion from just looking at people putting different weird stuff together. I have a very versatile like style of myself from that,
Yeah,
I think.
brilliant. And have you come across anything quite difficult in the modeling sense, in terms of anything quite strict or being
Um,
disciplined in certain fields?
well, being a model takes a lot of dedication,
Mhm.
um, because you need to work out, you know, eat well, run. You have to really work on yourself, but it's kind of nice to work on yourself and to better yourself and be more confident in your body, and you have to take care of your hair, your skin, everything. So it's that can be a struggle sometimes, because sometimes it's either like, you know, sitting down around the for a movie with your family, they're all eating chips. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, let's not do that today.
Yeah.
You know, and just like staying motivated, especially through this time, I've found a little bit harder to be inspired and motivated. Um, but trying to stay motivated and keep working on myself, so when this COVID thing lifts and becomes a little less strict, I can really move forward with my modeling, hopefully.
Yeah, you will definitely. And how do you keep yourself motivated, especially now, like you said, during COVID? How do you keep yourself motivated?
I'm more of a self-motivated person
Hmm.
myself. So my mom gets her motivation from other people and other people's energy. I get really motivated within myself. If I'm thinking and I'm like, okay, I need to do this. Let's go.
Hmm.
That's how I get myself going. Even going for jogs, because I live really close to a beautiful park with like a lot of trails in a forest and lots of ponds and really pretty. And I like going there to jog or take a walk, and enjoy the scenery as well as work out and better myself.
That's brilliant. That's so lucky. That's so lucky. That's why I love Canada as well. Because I've always dreamed about going there one day, and you got so many amazing parks and the trees is
Yeah.
stunning out there. I'm so jealous of you right now. I'm so jealous.
Well, if you ever come out here,
Yeah.
I'll definitely hook you up to the best places.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
But before we go, though, I always have to find out the best lessons that my guests have learned in their journey so far. So, kind of in both fields, both in music and modeling, what have been the best lessons that you've learned so far?
Well, with like music, you really have to be dedicated and work really hard for what you want. It's not always like, okay, you pick up a piece, you can play it right away. You need to practice it. You need to practice the piece, like the parts that you have difficult on. You need to be. It's really, really repetitive, which sets me up a lot for my future and success in my future, because I'm used to that dedication and repetitive practice, which is really good. It helps me with school and getting good grades and stuff.
Mhm.
My modeling helps me with confidence and um, just really, I get to express myself through fashion, and I love working with fashion designers and photographers and makeup artists to really bring um, their creative image alive. So that's really, it's really nice to see that their creativeness can be brought alive within a room and a scene and some clothing. Well, me, that helps me back to my violin with, this is my creative era. I can put everything into it and I'll make this beautiful sound. Um, yeah.
Oh, amazing. But before we go, I just want to say thank you so much for an amazing episode, Annika. I've really loved to catch up with you.
Of, of course.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
having
My
me.
pleasure. Hope to catch up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love you. Take care, everyone. That's the end of the episode.
Take
Take care.
care.
Bye bye.
Bye.